Welcome to the Sales to CEO podcast. This is your host, Louie Herron. It is my personal mission to coach, motivate, and inspire you to go from sales all the way to dealer principal or any position you desire. Stop making the excuses and let's start making the adjustments to the future you want and you deserve. Today, we are talking about 3 reasons why you're not selling cars. Hey guys, welcome in Sales to CEO. This is Louie Herron, your host. I am pumped up, excited to share with you 3 reasons why you're not selling some cars right now. Guys, look, there's a litany of reasons why maybe you're not producing, why you're not selling. But I want to get to 3 that I think are critical, that if you can just take a moment, take a step back, let's go through these. You'll understand at a deeper level why you're not actually selling cars, because your focus is not on selling the cars. Your focus is on something else. These 3 things are huge, not only in the car business, but they're huge in your life. They're huge in any endeavor that you're dealing with. If you're striving to get to the next level and you have a certain focus and you need to produce and perform to get there, these 3 things specifically will knock you off your socks. These things will hurt you if they're not under control. So I want to make sure that we understand before we get going how important it is to focus. Before I get to that, let me just go ahead and just remind everyone, if you don't know who I am, this is Louie Herron, again, Sales to CEO University. Again, I've got products, the digital products that cover the whole gamut of how to get you from a salesperson to a sales manager to general manager to partner, owner, dealer, principal, anything in between, all through the selling process, helping you understand what it takes to grow to the next level. That's my goal. That's my focus. That's my mission, is to help guys do what I did. 25 years in the auto business. Out of those 26 years, I actually owned a dealership for 13 years, operated as a general manager, those stores, plus 5 other years, a total of 18 years of general management. So again, I want to give my experience and help those get to the next level. Teach you the things that no one ever taught me, not necessarily at the position of sales management or general management, because there is training for that, but there's nothing out in the marketplace that actually shows you, if you're a sales guy and you want to be a manager, there's no playbook on how to become a manager. Like, there's a playbook once you become one, and there's a playbook while you're not one as a salesperson, but there's no playbook in the in-between. And that's what I teach, and that's what I coach, and that's what I'm excited about. Look, today we're talking about 3 reasons why you're not selling cars. Do me one favor. If you like the information, guys, subscribe to the podcast. Get the notification every time I drop a new podcast. I want you to have it. I want you to be able to share it with other automotive folks out there, because look, we're trying to expand and get everybody growing to the next level. The reciprocity always comes back to you, so share it. If you know somebody, another car guy, car gal, you know, that may like the content and information, let's share it with them as well. Let's get into the 3 reasons why you're not actually selling cars right now at the level you need to be. First of all, let's talk about focus. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. What you focus on expands. Just remember in school. Remember when you're in grade school, you're in high school, and you're looking at, it's 5th period, and you're looking at the clock. Tick, 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 tick. It's like forever, like you're watching. Why? You're focused on time, so the time expands. It just gets greater, right? So again, we have an acronym that was taught in Discover You Leadership that I learned many years ago called WAFO, and it stands for What Are You Focused On? Because what you're focused on will drive your behaviors. Your behaviors will drive your results, right? So what we want to focus on is how we're going to sell more cars. Let's talk about the 3 things that are going to stop you. The first thing, again, if you're not driving, you want to write these things down. The very first thing that's going to stop you from selling cars, guys, is your money. Why do I say your money? Because it's hard to dream and it's hard to hit big numbers when you're focusing on surviving. Remember something. When you're in the car business and you're selling cars day after day, big Saturdays come and you don't put 3 deals on the board. You know, it's a Monday and now it's a Tuesday and you're 3 days without a delivery. Guys, it is hard. I've been there. It's hard to dream big. It's hard to imagine. It's hard to have that focus and hit big numbers when you're surviving. those that are listening right now, if you're in the auto business and you're check to check, week to week, that's a massive, massive problem. Massive. Number one, it's a problem because it's not going to propel you to the next level. Number two, it's a problem because you're in a business that should be producing you $3,000, $4,000 a week should be your paycheck. You should be finding ways to make 12 grand, 13 grand, 15 grand. And yes, there are people all over the country that are making $20,000 a month selling cars. It's available to you. We just got to take the right steps. Okay, so let's talk about this money thing. How in the world does this happen? In other words, how are you just surviving? Let's go through this for a moment. What do you do with your money? Okay, if the government is going to take 30% of it, what are your personal expenses? Do you save 10 or 20% of your money? These are the questions you've got to ask yourself. What is your strategy? What is your plan? Once you get your check, what are you doing with the money? Money management is the key for productivity. Managing your resources, right? As the money comes in, you've got to make sure you're prorating that money, making sure you have a strategy, because here's the deal. If you're focusing on money and you're focusing on surviving, it will strain you. The customer, you will reek of this scent of insecurity and begging and trying to, you think you're persuading to sell a car, but it literally comes across in the most passive begging way. It's awful, and you cannot get yourself to even thinking about going to the next level if you're check to check. Okay, so I need you to put a monthly plan in place and follow it. Okay, and give yourself some breathing room. Need for you guys to really, really take the time to wait on some of those big payments. Now, listen, in the car business, we've been told, I could tell you one of my first sales managers, he wants you to get a big old truck payment real quick, right? So if you have a big payment, big house payment, you're going to have to go to work and make it happen. I get it. I understand it. And you've heard it. But what I'm telling you is hang tight on those big payments. Let's put some money in the bank for a little bit. Keep renting that apartment for a little bit. Let's make sure before we trade out of that car, let's make sure we got our house in order. Okay. And you want to make sure you start maybe using some cash instead of credit cards. Some basic things. Give yourself a spending allowance. Give yourself some room to start creating some opportunity. Because here's the deal. If you don't get your money in line, if you don't get your money right, then all of a sudden your sales aren't going to be right. Okay. That's number one. We're talking about 3 reasons why you're not selling cars. First reason, your money's not right. You're surviving. You're not imagining. You're not dreaming. You're not setting targets and goals because you're worried and you're stressed and you have anxiety, and it's a killer. Got to get your money right. Number 2, guys, this is a big one. Again, and everything I'm sharing with you, not only have I experienced the upside, I've experienced the downside. Let's talk about substance abuse. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this is a critical thing, and it's especially in the car business. Believe it or not, we take the time and we sedate and we medicate, okay, our problems, our issues, our concerns. This is not a car business thing. This is an everybody thing, all right? There's a lot of people out there. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are alcoholics, but they don't claim themselves as an alcoholic. They don't realize that they're an alcoholic or even say that they are one. Guys, the reality is if we're drinking on a normal basis, on a nightly basis, to sedate or to medicate, or we tell ourselves, oh man, I just feel like it was a tough day. I need me a drink. I get it. I understand. Been there. Here's the reality. If we do that and we do it often and we do it over and over, it becomes an abused issue. Okay. If we're using substances, whether that's alcohol or drug related, okay, some may have drug issues. Okay. We're coping with issues. Why are we coping? We're stressed. We don't want to think about it. Sometimes we go to substance because we're just bored. Maybe it's just because you're alone. We talk about some relational issues. Maybe you're alone, or maybe it's just straight circumstances. Guys, I got to tell you, when I had one of my dealerships I was selling and I had a tough time and I was going through some personal situations, the bottom line is those circumstances were overwhelming, and I drank too much. And that's just the bottom line. It was a period of my life that I was not my normal self. Okay. And the thing that you got to remember is you are not selling cars. You will not sell cars if you have a substance abuse issue. It's not going to happen. The substance is a thief. It takes your time. It takes your vision. It takes your purpose. It takes your goals. It distracts you. It gives you a dependency on something other than yourself, and you become dependent on your lies, your shame, your guilt. It magnifies. Guys, when I tell you this is a huge problem, and look, I'm no rehab counselor, okay? I'm no marriage counselor, okay? I'm a car guy. I'm a sales guy. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a salesperson at heart. I can just tell you from experience, this does not help you get to any level, let alone the next level. Okay, we're talking about in Sales and CEO University getting to the next level. This is not going to contribute to any level, let alone next level. So we're talking about the reasons why you're not selling cars. First reason, let's recap. Your money's not right. Get your money right. Put a plan in place. Let's get some savings. Let's get some tithing. Let's get our expenses in line. Let's hang tight on the big payments. Let's reduce some of that credit card. Let's use cash for the week. Give yourself an allowance. Listen, plenty of different ways to get that done, but get your money right. Okay. Number 2, substance abuse, alcohol, drugs. Some people sedate and medicate with other things. Maybe it's just straight Netflix. Maybe it's just, you're gaming. Guys, look, it doesn't necessarily have to be the obvious or what we think is the obvious. If you're sedating and you're medicating and coping with your issues and you're stressed and you're bored and you're alone, you don't have anything to do, you're by yourself, okay, and circumstances come on you, you will go to the substance. You will do something to fill the void, fill the time, fill the gap, okay? And that void that you're filling, the most important thing I can tell you, it will steal, absolutely steal hours of your time, tons of creativity and vision, your life's purpose, the goals you have for yourself, and most importantly, your family. If you have a family, it distracts you, and now all of a sudden you start to put yourself in a dependency, which is not a position of strength, and you're totally dependent on your lies, your shame, and your guilt, which is a bad deal. So stop it before it's too late. Okay, stop it before it's too late. I got to tell you, there's no one that ever says I'm going to start drinking and I'm going to end up under a bridge one day and have nothing left in my life. No one says that, guys, but you see people every single day. And if you think it won't happen to you, I can promise you, you can get to the depths of the bottom quicker than you think. You will lose yourself, but even more importantly, you can lose everything that's important to you. So again, why you're not selling cars, your money's not right, and you got a little substance issue, you got a little sedation issue. Let's take care of that. Let's not medicate or sedate. Start meditating, not medication. Let's meditate. Let's not sedate. Let's do some things that are productive. Start journaling, start praying. Let's get it right, guys. Okay, last one. And we're wrapping this podcast up. Number 3. Again, Sales to CEO University, bringing you the content and information I believe is going to help you propel yourself personally to another level as well as professionally. Number 3, relationships. Why are you not selling cars? Well, your money's not right. You got some kind of abuse going on, sedating your issues. And the third thing is relationship issues, guys, or it could be a lack of a relationship. But let me just speak to relationship issues. And let me back up. I am not a counselor, okay? I am happily married now, but I have been through a divorce, so I don't have all the right answers. What I will tell you is simply this. If you do not have the right one, and you are not on the same page, and you are trying to propel your automotive career, and you're trying to get to the next level, and you don't have the right one and not on the same page, I'm telling you, it will not work. It will drag you down. These are the things that we got to really focus on, and you got to have those heart-to-heart conversations to make sure that everyone in your household and your family is ready to go to the next level. And you've got to play your part. You've got to do your part. All right. So again, if it's not right at the house, if it ain't right at home, it ain't going to be right at the dealership. I'm just telling you. So let me give you some quick ideas. Number 1, what you can do with your spouse is some weekly check-ins. Okay, just touch base once a week. Touch base, see how things are going. I would also tell you, give your spouse some space. Look, you're working, she's working, he's working, however the partnership's working out. And sometimes some people just need some space, right? I have to work on that. Don't be so needy. Just give some space. The other thing is learn about your partner. Okay, learn what's important to them. Why is building your relationship so important? Because if the relationship is strong, you become strong. If you're strong, your productivity becomes strong, your clarity is strong, your certainty is strong, your self-confidence is strong. All of that gets projected to a customer when you're in a meet and greet, when you're in a demo presentation, when you're actually writing up the deal and closing the deal down. These are the things that you need in check, okay? So check in, give some space, learn about your partner. You also learn to speak their language, understand what's important to them from a priority standpoint. Okay, all of these things are important to make sure you're working things through. When it's time to have month end, your partner knows it's the last 3 days of the month and that you may have to work bell to bell. But everyone's on the same page, and that's what we're after. So listen, next level performance, Sales to CEO University, going to the next level and a next level performance is about being a next level human being. Okay? Next level human being. Get these 3 things dialed in and get to the next level. Let me just say this. When you're trying your best to not make a living, but to make a life, you're trying your best to work like no one else works. So one day you can work like no one else works, right? Dave Ramsey said that. Love it, right? You're working like no one else works. So one day you can work like no one else works, right? You're putting in all the effort. You want to make your life as fruitful as you can be. So one day you have the freedom to not have to work at the rate that you work. When you do all of these things, guys, the thing that's going to propel you not only are the talents, abilities, skills, work ethics, consistencies, study, practice, drill, rehearse, understand all of the metrics of the craft of the business. All of that matters. But I got to tell you, when you become better personally, professionally, things start to take care of themselves when you feel good. So we're talking about getting to the next level. Look, Sales to CEO University, taking you to the next level. The podcast taking you to the next level. Look, you deserve it. You earn it, but you've got to put in the work. Number 1, be aware. Get your money right. Quit the nonsense with the substances. Get your relationship right. Get those 3 things fixed. Get those things working in the right direction. I promise you, once you're studying and you're practicing, drilling, rehearsing the professional aspect of going to the next level, things are going to smooth out. You're going to make a ton of cash, and you're going to figure out a way to get to that next level. And that's what it's all about. Guys, this is Louie Herron, host of Sales CEO Podcast. Look, until the next time, I hope you guys crush it. Go have a great day, sell a bunch of cars, and we'll see you next time on Sales to CEO Podcast.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to the Sales to CEO podcast. Look, real simple, do me a big favor. Number 1, I'm totally grateful you took the time to listen, but share this, like, subscribe. This is how we build our network of growing people in the car industry to the next level. Again, like or share or subscribe right now. Until the next one, great selling, and let's go to the next level.